Pull it out right now.
It's like a loose tooth.
Pull it off.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's ready.
Ew. That looks so disgusting.
Hurts like a bitch too. Stay Gold was not very fun actually because I was like dug in my deepest into partying and stuff, but it was also like really my time that I should have like stood up and rose to that. That would have been like the time to like film my best video part as far as like how old I was, but I just like wasn't in it mentally. So it was really like the most I've ever had to be like dragged into like getting out there. It was like everyone around me was so serious, like really like Andrew was filming the best stuff of his life, going the gnarliest, like a lot of these people like Herman was doing all that like table stuff, and I just was like, man, I just want to be in New York and I just want to like hang out with my girlfriend or like do this stuff. Like this skateboarding feels like a job right now. Which, you know, I wish I would have. On one hand, it would have been a nice time to be able to like capitalize on being younger and do all that stuff, but at the same time, what can you do? It's like your trajectory. That couldn't have been any other way, I guess. I think that one was like into a ditch maybe or something like that. I think that was in New Mexico.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's also an example of you're gonna look back at that with all the context of where you were at and where I was at. I'm looking at that with like all that baggage, but I appreciated they said you guys liked that. I mean, it was still a blast. It was like all that stuff was really, I don't know. That was a fun time to be in the van too and watching all that shit go down. I saw so much gnarly skateboarding at that time. And so it's also another thing when you're around all that, like you are just like naturally like, even if I was just at that time just trying to get tricks that counted as getting tricks and could go in that video, then I was like still in a place to do some of my best skateboarding that I could have physically at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I'm around all that shit that was so gnarly, I was like, okay, I have to like at least be trying to jump. Like there were so many times back then that I was like at least like trying to jump down to 17, even if I would just like come off of like a bender for 2 weeks in Japan or something like that. Yeah, I mean, especially like for that video at that time, it was I mean, I'd been in the game for a bit, so like music was a big part of things, but it's always a collaboration, you know, especially with somebody like John Miner who's making videos. He has such a authorial vision. He knows what's going on, so you're really bouncing ideas back and forth.
How different is it, or was it filming for Baker back then, filming for Emerica?
I mean, Baker in general has always been a kind of like there's Andrew's not like he's not putting pressure on people a lot. Like Emerica videos were a little bit more like that was the shoe sponsor. They're paying the bills, blah blah blah. They're like this is how the video is kind of gonna look, and it was a little bit more structured and rigid and a little bit more of like Miner being like, yo, you got to figure your shit out. You got to do this. You need this for your part. You need that. And that's why it felt like more of a job at that time. But that was, I mean, looking back, that's how he had to be. That's how you got to be to like make a video project work with like 10, 12 people in it. But yeah, it was a lot different. It was a lot more. I remember when we would go from like filming a Emerica video to go filming a Baker video after that, it was always just like so laid back, and filming with Beagle is like he's like, oh yeah, dog, sick, that's fucking tight, oh yeah, even if you're just doing some bullshit, he's like so positive about it. So it was like a big change.
Yeah! You did it, Spank Dog!
That's That's another thing. I mean, I can't remember exactly, but those video projects back then, it would be years, you know, it'd be like 3 years in the making or something like that at least. And so I don't know. I think I wanted more at that point of like put 3 years into 3 minutes, and you want it to be like the gnarliest shit. It takes like a bunch of different things, like we mentioned before, a lot of right place at the right time, a lot in like different periods of my career. But I will say I'm also just like extremely hungry. I like love to see a project through. I love to like work, and like skateboarding's the only real thing I like. It's the thing I'm gonna be most passionate to like put all my energy into. That helps. I think it also helps that I'm like, I've never been the gnarliest or best, or it's never like, I don't think it ever like really came that easy to me, so I'm used to working for it. And so never has it felt like a waste of time to like sit there for 5 hours and try a trick, because that's what I've known for so long, and that's kind of what I love. But I think most of all on that tip, it's just really like feeling like when I'm out there, it's a gift. I hate, this feels like corny to say, and this whole thing sounds like we've been being so serious this whole time, and I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I think that's what for me, like it's like I fucking love skateboarding, so yeah. I'm out there, and I like feel lucky to be doing it, and so so I'm doing it like more than I should usually. I'm like out there, like yeah. I'll be out there, and as long as there's somebody to like, as long as there's a reason to be doing it, I'll be doing it. My shit's fucked. Like, okay. yeah. My knees are bad, and as a result, my hips are bad. And it's just like any other skater who's 40, you feel like shit all the time. And like some days I feel like I'm 20, and some days I feel like I'm 60, and you just like try to do all the stuff that makes you feel younger. I think I was like, yeah, man, I was raised on zero videos and shit. Like since I was like 4 feet tall, I was jumping off of storage containers and shit, like, and then, but also it's just street skating's hard on your body, as we all feel it, like it's just wear and tear. And then really, like, dude, I've done a lot just even in the last like 10 years of being back at it, where you'd look at my body of work or whatever, and it's like more low key and maybe like a little bit more creative or something, but within that there's just like plenty of jumping that just does some damage. But I think for the most part I kind of peaked early as far as like going super big, so I've been able to ride it out for longer because I've found a little bit more low impact stuff in the last handful of years.